because otherwise there would be no moral basis from which we could sit on. And I disagree with that because I feel that humans are inherently altruistic and moral.
Why is it good to survive?
Because then we can propagate and move on as a species and continue to exist.
This atheist challenges Frank on the morality of God and why God gives morality. So make sure to watch till the end because I have a Bible verse that will tie all of this together. Let's get right into the video.
No, so you make 3 specific arguments for the existence of God. A creative argument, an argument for design, and an argument for morality. I first off would like to try and take down the argument on morality.
Go ahead.
Because it's not actually an argument for the existence of a God, it's the argument for the fact that we should have an idea of an existence of a God, because otherwise there would be no moral basis from which we could sit on. And I disagree with that because I feel that humans are inherently altruistic and moral.
Okay, all right, stop there for just a second, Nathaniel. What do you mean by altruistic and moral?
We are giving and we care about each other.
Why is that good?
Why is that good? Because it helps our species survive.
Why is it good to survive?
Because then we can propagate and move on as a species and continue to exist.
So why is that a good thing? Who said?
Why is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Because that is what it is.
Well, that's an is. That's not an ought, though. Stalin would say, fine, Nathaniel, I'm going to survive by killing you and taking your stuff. Why is he wrong?
Because Stalin would have the initial urge not to. He would feel that the inherent urge of humans is to be caring for one another. There are situations where humans will not be caring about one another, and those are exceptional. But because humans are inherently altruistic, his first urge would be to take care of the person or try and help them. But if he has some motivation against that, then he would no longer have that urge. And he would decide that he wants to kill them because he has a reason to.
Well, again, I think you're begging the question as to what altruism is. Why is taking care of others a good thing if there is no God? That's your opinion. Is there an external referent, an authoritative, unchanging referent that you're getting that opinion from, which makes it objective, or is it just something you feel?
Humans, so if you take it from the stance that this is something that is consistent throughout humanity, that we care about one another, then we could superpose that as a moral impulse that we have.
Okay, let me agree with you. I think we do have a moral impulse. And that's exactly what C.S. Lewis said in The Abolition of Man, when he looked at all the diverse cultures and he said, they agree on basic morality. Now, how do you explain that basic morality? Well, there's maybe different ways to explain it, but some will say that's because God has written it on our hearts. But the issue isn't how we know it. The issue is, why is altruism, as you put it, or caring for one another, a good thing? Who said?
It's not necessarily who said, it is what is. We are altruistic. There is no need for someone to say that it is a good thing. It is what we are.
But if Hitler or Stalin comes along and says, I don't want to be altruistic, I want to be selfish and take everything for myself, and if I have to kill you to do that, I'm going to do that, why is that objectively wrong?
Because he is not taking care of other people.
Who said it's... Where are you getting this standard to this objective standard that you ought to take care of people? Where does that come from if there's no God?
So I'm just going to talk about a little example that I know of. And
before he gets into that example, my problem is, what if Nazi Germany won the war and they would have eliminated all the Jews, everyone else they destroyed, and they took power? And then at the end of the day, they wrote, yeah, we did a good thing. Everything, we got rid of all of the lesser of the people, the survival of the fittest, we're the strongest, and we won, and we did this good thing. According to your view, would have said that would be good.
So there's 3 different points I'd like to make. First off, we still exist. If we did not take care of each other, as a social species, we would have very, very limited capabilities of still existing. We need to band together. We need to take care of each other. We need to be friendly to one another.
That's presupposing that survival is a good thing. Why is it a good thing? And why us surviving? Why not roaches or antelope or black widow spiders?
Why do you need the concept of good there? We're still surviving, and we're being nice, kind to each other. We are being caring for one another.
Forgive me, Nathaniel, but you're stealing the standard of goodness from God's universe to try and make your worldview work. But if there is no objective, authoritative moral standard beyond us, then atheism doesn't work.
I think you're right. There is something to that. The idea of good and evil is in a lot of ways a religious concept. But why do we need that?
Well, it depends on what you mean by religion. I'm just talking, we can leave religion out of it, it's a loaded term. Let's just say the source, ontologically, which means the study of being. Where does morality come from? Are you an atheist?
Yes.
Okay, are you a materialist?
No.
Okay, so you believe in immaterial reality, that's good. How do you explain immaterial reality if there is no God?
Could you define immaterial reality?
Oh, let's just take the laws of morality. It's right to take care of people. It's right to love. It's wrong to murder. Where does that come from?
That's something that is ingrained in us in our behaviors.
That's how we know it. And let me agree with you that maybe there are different ways we can come to know it. If evolution is true, maybe evolution has helped bring it to us. Maybe our parents taught it to us. Maybe society taught it to us. However, my question isn't how we know it. My question is, why is it right to love and wrong to murder objectively? Because, we went to the Nazis and they said, oh, we're just obeying our government. And we said, you had a higher obligation to obey the good rather than your government, and you failed, so you're guilty. So where does this higher standard come? Where does it come from? What is it ontologically?
So to some extent, this is an interpretation of, and I'm probably going to screw this up, but this is an interpretation of why we exist. And so we come from a long lineage of life, and so in order to honor that, we must continue to live. And so to be kind is to honor that life that we have. And life is all that we have.
Okay. I agree with what you're saying here, but you're importing terms, moral terms like honor and good, into an atheistic system that has no way to ground those moral terms. That's my point. Let me ask you another question. I'm going to ask you the question I said I would ask you. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian?
Yes.
Great. If I give you a book, would you read it?
I'm a busy person. But if you give it to me, I would take a look.
You'll take a look. If you read it, I'll give it to you. It doesn't seem like you're that interested in it.
If you give me your email, I'll tell you that I read it.
You'll tell me what?
I'll tell you that what I read about and what I thought about it.
Oh, that's fine. I'll give you my email, as long as you read it.
All right.
All right, done.
That's cool. But I have a question. So for the atheists out there, how do you justify homosexuality when it doesn't help anyone survive? It doesn't help your species survive. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would a species evolve to having same-sex relations if they're going to die with that relationship? They're not going to produce any fruit. That's also something I have a hard time with. Maybe an atheist can respond to me for that. Anyway, guys, now I have a Bible verse that will tie all of this together. 2 Corinthians 3:3 says, "Clearly, you are a letter from Christ, showing the result of our ministry among you. This letter is written not with pen and ink, but with the Spirit of the living God. It is carved not onto tablets of stone, but on human hearts." So I encourage you to go to God and encourage you to look into Jesus. Know that he loves you and he's longing to have a relationship with you. In the description below, you can click the link to help you decide to follow Jesus for the first time. I encourage you to do that today. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below your thoughts on this, whatever that may be, and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know we can do it with your help. So thank you for all your love and support. It means the world. Hope you have an amazing day. Peace.